Good afternoon. This is the news update on Dominion Television, Ibadan Nofuwa. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved Christopher Musa, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents after a nearly 2-hour security meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. He said the president remains committed to providing the necessary support for security agencies in their ongoing operations against insurgents. However, he did not specify the type or quantity of equipment approved. Musa explained that the meeting, which was the first attended by the newly appointed Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, was convened to brief the president on the current security situation, particularly following recent attacks on military formations. Meanwhile, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, has urged Nigerians not to lose hope at the Aso Rock Presidential Villa in Abuja. The briefing followed a closed-door meeting between the president and top security officials, including the local government area of Borno State, now security and enable displaced residents to safely return to their communities. Lawmakers during plenary also called on security agencies to increase surveillance and conduct coordinated patrols and operations across affected communities to prevent further attacks, particularly along the agencies. Lucky Aiyedatiwa held that allowing the incumbent governor to seek another term in 2028 would be inconsistent with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria as amended, which limits the tenure of a president, vice president, governor, or deputy governor to a maximum of 8 years in office. Reacting to the ruling, Governor Aiyedatiwa described the decision as premature and a distraction from governance. He said discussions about the 2028 off-cycle governorship election were unnecessary at this stage, noting that he had only recently secured a fresh mandate from the people of the state. Now, the current electricity supply situation has generated concerns among residents and businesses as households struggle to cope. Report Taiwo Olanrewaju takes a look at the current electricity supply situation in Ibadan and its implications.
The current electricity supply situation within the service areas of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBEDC, has continued to raise concerns among residents, businesses, and other electricity consumers. Reports indicate with many areas experiencing prolonged outages and irregular electricity distribution. The development has affected daily activities as households struggle to cope with limited electricity, while business owners lament the negative impact on productivity and the rising cost of operations.
Facing the problem with this electricity compared to my own case now, o'clock they will not bring the light, so it's really affecting us in terms of production, the output, and in terms of expenses. We are really spending much on productions now.
I have a shop now. We used to have a sales of 4 packs of Coke in a day, a sales of 4 packs of water in a day. Now we are just selling like even take something cold. So it's really affecting sales a whole lot.
Reacting to the situation, the Senior Communications Officer of IBEDC, Frank Williams, said the present challenge is temporary, assuring customers that efforts are ongoing to restore stable supply.
The present situation is not about the reality. The reality is that at the generation end, there are issues of huge debts. I mean, even IBEDC is in debt. We are running this business because of customers not paying adequately. We are running because there are still energy thefts. We are running because there's still some vandalism. We are running into debt because there are still apathy to payment. Then, at the generation end, there is a serious acute shortage of gas. I want to add another one. There's increasing demand for energy. You know, we have moved a lot of customers into Band A. And as a Band A customers, you are entitled to enjoy a minimum of 20-hour power supply. We should not allow the present challenge to overwhelm, leading to chaos.
For many Nigerians, a stable and reliable electricity supply remains critical to economic growth, industrial development, and improved quality of life. Taiwo Olanrewaju, reporting for Dominion News.
Now moving on to the foreign scene, Egypt's trade ministry has introduced caps on bread prices as citizens brace for a rise in the cost of living following a revision of fuel prices. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi warned last week that anyone found guilty of price manipulation would be tried in military courts. The new directive also requires bakeries to clearly display the prices and weights of their bread on storefront. The measure comes days after the government increased the prices of gasoline and cooking gas cylinders by up to 30% and 22% respectively, amid rising energy costs linked to the ongoing tensions involving the United States, Israel and Iran. Now, Taiwan's parliament has authorized the government to sign agreements with the United States for 4 arms sales package worth about $9 billion after officials warned that missing the deadline could push Taipei to the back of the production queue and send the wrong signal to Washington. Parliamentary Speaker Han Kuo-yu said lawmakers approved the move to prioritize national security and defend Taiwan's territorial integrity. He added that the government must submit a full report on the weapons delivery schedule once the agreements are signed. Meanwhile, Defense Minister Wellington Koo warned that the letters of offer and acceptance for one of the weapons systems would expire on March 26 if Taiwan failed to act quickly. President Lai Ching-te's government has also proposed an additional $40 billion defense budget, but opposition parties controlling parliament say the plan lacks clarity and refuse to approve what they describe as blank checks. Now, as the Iran war hits its 2-week mark today, the leaders of Iran, Israel and the United States struck defiant tones, even as the conflict claimed thousands of lives, rattled financial markets and sent oil prices soaring. In his first public comments, new Iranian Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei vowed to keep the Strait of Hormuz closed and warned neighboring countries to shut United States bases or risk being targeted. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended U.S. and Israeli airstrikes on Iran, saying the campaign is meant to help Iranians topple their leadership. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump said the United States and Israel had already won the war and argued that higher oil prices would benefit the U.S. as the largest oil producer in the world. And now talking sports, former Nigerian international Mikel Obi has called for the resignation of the entire board of the Nigeria Football Federation, led by Ibrahim Gusau, for failing to qualify the Super Eagles for the upcoming 2026 World Cup. Recall that the Super Eagles were eliminated from the World Cup qualification race after a tense penalty shootout defeat to the DR Congo in November 2025. Speaking with sports journalists, Mikel, who earned 89 caps for Nigeria and represented the country at the 2014 and 2018 World Cups, stated that those in charge of Nigerian football must accept responsibility for what he described as a disastrous campaign. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominioncast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. Thank you for watching. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa.